I'll just keep adding to this.
Adding more time to the delay. Now I'm getting something. Will you talk?
I will talk. Test, test, test. Did it go away again?
No, it's just the levels are different. All right, well, let's work. Oh.
Is it there now?
It's way back.
Word.
Okay. We can start.
Okay. I just set it back to 10:05. Want me to remove this? Are we live? Are we going?
They can even hear us.
Oh my gosh, they can hear us. Good morning, folks. Hey, good morning, everybody. What's happening out there? Welcome. It must be Saturday if I'm here. So those of you that have lost track of the days, it's Saturday, 10:04 a.m. This is Common Bond. My name is Chris, and that's Ben over there. He's right off camera, and of course, we've got a dog named Pig with us today, as usual. So, you know, it's just like the last few weeks. It's been a pretty interesting time. I'm super happy you guys are all here. You know, I was talking about this a little bit last week, but I don't know about you all, but I'm tired. My body is tired. My mind is tired. Even though I don't really seem to be doing too much, except for, you know, my usual gig during the day, I feel a little bit more tired than usual. So I really kind of want to honor that, and I'm thinking that maybe a lot of you might be feeling the same way as well. So I really kind of want to take it kind of chill today and just kind of start to question the idea of what is vinyasa, right? For me, vinyasa is simply like the identification of movement with the breath, and that doesn't necessarily have to mean physical movement, right? So I thought that we would take it kind of chill today. Now that's chill, not challenging, right? We're still gonna have a good time, but I think that we're gonna try to just kind of like dial in a little bit today and dial into ourselves and just kind of try to raise our awareness just a little bit higher, get it out of all these senses and up here a little bit more in the area of our consciousnesses. Is that a word? Consciousnesses? Conscience-nai? I don't know. Anyway, so as usual, I would recommend you have a couple of blocks and just have those at the front of your mat. I get it. You're at home. Man, I don't have yoga blocks, Chris. Why do you keep saying have yoga blocks? Well, you can also use books. You could use like water bottles. We're not really putting weight on a lot of these. We're just going to kind of use them for a little bit of balance. So maybe just find something, a stool, a book, even like a chair or something that you can put your hands on just to kind of help you maintain a little bit of stability. Also, I'm going to have us on our backs to start off with, and I want to do a shoulder stand this morning. To safely do a shoulder stand, we really want to keep that C7 vertebrae right at the back of our neck, you know, safe. So what I'd like you to do is find a blanket and, you know, just fold it up, right, and then fold it a second time. So this is, you know, a classic double fold in our blanket, just to give you an idea of what that looks like. Take your blanket, fold it long ways, fold that guy in half again, single fold, double fold. And then we're just going to set this aside for right now. Set it on your mat and make sure that you know, work out any little kinks or folds in there, because we're going to lay on that for a couple of minutes and you might be able to feel those. All right. Well, let's go ahead and find ourselves on our backs. So what I'd like you to do, just to start off with, is just get back here on your back and lie down. And we want to make sure that the tops of our shoulders are more or less lined up with the outside edge of that blanket. And then just make sure, you know, that little bump right there at the base of your neck is nice and supported. And then let the arms just get nice and wide, right? Just like let them be nice and relaxed, and let's just take those legs and just stretch the legs out down towards the bottom of the mat. And just try to, you know, let the feet relax. Maybe lift the bum up and pull it down towards the tailbone, just finding a little bit of elongation in the lower back, and then let it back down. You know, move around in the shoulders, move around in the neck and the head. Let the body get long, close the eyes. That's some good cueing on the music there, Ben. DJ Wilkinson over here. And with the eyes closed, as you start to settle in here, we're going to be on our backs for just a couple of minutes, so you're welcome. But as you start to settle in, let the eyes just close, let the body get heavy, let the body become supported by the floor. Just start to let things go. Maybe even like tense the muscles of the right leg, point the toes straight towards the front wall, and then on an exhale, just let that leg relax. Feel the tension just starting to slip away, and you can do that with the left leg. Just engage the muscles. Point the toes forward, just like you're stretching just that leg. And then with the exhale, just relax and let that go again. You can do the same thing with the arms, just reaching out with the fingertips, engaging the muscles of the arms and the fingers all the way up to the shoulder. And then on an exhale, you can just let that relax. And then you can do the same thing with the other arm. Even pulling the muscles of the face up towards the nose like you just bit into a lemon. And then with an exhale, just let the face relax. And as you start to settle in, taking any other movements you need at any time, what I'd like you to do is just start to bring the attention and your awareness towards the belly. And in particular, the navel rising on the inhale and then dropping back down on your exhale. We're not really trying to control our breath here or anything like that, and we're not having any judgment on how the breath is flowing or how the navel is moving. What I'd like you to do is just allow your awareness to be at that point, just right in your belly button, right in the navel, and just be aware of the navel rising on inhale and descending on exhale. If you'd like to, you could even bring your left or your right hand and just place it right there on the belly. And you can actually start to feel that movement. As you inhale, you're pushing into the hand with the belly, and the hand rises along with the belly, and on the exhale, it just relaxes and the hand drops down just a little bit. Just noticing how the body is moving with the breath, allowing the awareness to really sit there with the body and the breath moving together. And maybe after the next exhale, we can move our awareness from the navel to the center of the chest, to our heart center, not the physical heart, the spiritual heart, if you will, that chakra heart right there in the center of the chest. And you can even move the hand there, right there above the sternum if you'd like to. Let the fingers be nice and wide, and again, just start to focus on the inhales and the exhales. Feeling the chest move up and expand outward on the inhale as the lungs fill with breath, and then on the exhale, when the breath turns back around, just feel like how everything starts to just kind of collapse back down. As we exhale, the chest falls, the ribs come back in. Again, we're not worried about how the breath is flowing. We're not worried about the control of the breath. We're just simply being aware that there is movement in the body, and that is moving with your breath. Simply aware of the breath and the movements of the body linked with the breath. Now let's leave the chest and start to move the awareness just up towards the throat. And there's not a lot of movement really in the throat physically, but we can feel the movement of the breath on our inhales and exhales as it moves up and down the throat. So start to focus on that sensation. Inhaling and exhaling, just watching the breath move up and down the neck as it flows in and out of the lungs. If you'd like to, you could even start to bring that little bit of constriction into the throat for your Ujjayi pranayama, just to allow a little bit more awareness to start to come into the throat as you take those inhales and exhales. It's a sound that kind of sounds like you're fogging up a mirror, and you just kind of constrict the base of the throat a little bit and breathe in and out through the nose. The whole body is still moving with the breath, but we're just allowing the awareness to rest on the throat. And then how about to the nostrils? Just allowing the awareness to start to float towards the nostrils so you can start to recognize the feeling and the sensation of the breath moving in and out of the nose. The breath is still moving down through the throat, the chest is still rising, the navel is still rising on the inhale, but we're allowing the attention and the awareness here to be on the nostrils. And the last point I'd like to visit this morning is that space right at the top of the nostrils in between the eyebrows. A place where like the nostrils come together. Just kind of focus right there. And it's almost like as you take the inhale, the breath from each nostril kind of like wraps around the other. Spirals, fills the throat, the chest, the belly, and turns back around. Belly, chest, throat, nose. Take another breath or two here with the focus and the awareness of that space right at the top of the nostrils in between the eyebrows. And as we practice together today, I'd really like you to keep that whole region in your mind. From the belly button, through the chest, through the throat, through the nose, into that space right at the top of the nostrils, at the top of the eyebrows. Just watching the awareness and the breath move up and down on your inhales and your exhales. Maybe just start with some little movements here. Just moving around in the legs, stretching one leg down towards the bottom of the mat as you bend a knee, and then just kind of switch that around. Just kind of like you're maybe waking up or just starting to get into bed and moving the body around. Move the bum around on the mat, move the arms around, move the shoulders around, even moving the neck around. Just starting to wake the body up here. I'm super happy you're all here today. I know we got Dean out there. Dean, it's nice for you to be here with us. I'm sure we got Amy and Erica out there. Maybe even my friends Jeff and Jill up there in Seattle are with us again today. Happy birthday, Jeff, if you're there. Let's take an inhale and start to bend the right knee and just start to bring the right knee up towards the chest, and then bring the hands and interlace the fingers and just bring them on the shin underneath the knee and just start to bring that knee up towards the chest. And don't force it to get all the way to the chest if it doesn't want to go there. Just find that place where you're feeling a nice stretch on the back of the thighs and into the hip. Flex the toes on the foot, flexing the toes up towards the knee, and maybe just pull a little squeeze on an inhale. And just kind of let that slightly relax on the exhale. We've got just a little bit of movement there. Take the inhale, squeeze the knee in towards the chest, and on the exhale, just let it release. Let's do that again. Let's just take that inhale, squeeze that knee up there, and then maybe we can pull it a little bit out towards the armpit. As we practice today, we're gonna play with moments of stillness and moments of movement, but we're still gonna keep an eye on that movement of the body while we're still with the breath, right? So we can explore and expand our idea of what vinyasa is. If you'd like to, you could take an inhale, right? We could just kind of start to drop that right knee out towards the side, opening up the inside of the thigh. It's almost like you're a one-legged frog pose here on your back, right? So just kind of pull that knee out. Keep flexing those toes. And just allow yourself just a couple of breaths here. When you're ready on an inhale, you can just start to bring that knee back towards the center of the chest. And then on the exhale, just straighten that leg down towards the mat. And just let that leg completely relax. Even engaging the muscles again if you need to, and then just relaxing the leg on an exhale, just letting it all go. And then with an inhale, we're gonna go ahead and bring the left knee up towards the chest, just like we did. Interlace the fingers, bring them over the shin, right underneath the knee, and just start to squeeze the knee in towards the chest. And really allow yourself to be aware of the differences between the right and the left sides as we move from one side to the other. Whether the posture is something simple or something complicated, it's always different between the rights and the lefts. Listen to your body, adjust as you need. Let's just get that little bit of movement here in, again, on this side. So we'll take the inhale, just kind of start to lift the knee up. And the exhale, start to squeeze the knee back in towards the center of the chest. Inhale, we can just start to slightly lift the knee up. It's not a big lift. On the exhale, we just kind of squeeze that back in towards the chest. Do that again with your breath. Exhaling, bringing the knee in towards the chest. We can finish that exhale, and then when you're ready with an inhale, we can start to open that left knee out towards the left side again, just like we did on the right, but now we're on the left side. Finding that stretch on the inner thigh. Flex the toes, pulling them up towards the knee. Hi, pig. Lovely to see you, as always. Social distancing, pig, come on. Just letting that left leg fall out again. It's like we're in a one-legged frog pose, but we're on our backs. Which I suppose isn't frog pose at all, right? I'm really gonna be happy when you're all back in the studio so I can actually have somebody to talk to. Give yourself a full exhale right here. And then we're gonna take an inhale. We're gonna bring that left knee up towards the chest. And on the exhale, we'll just straighten that left leg down towards the bottom of the mat. Full exhale right there. And then in your time, we're gonna take an inhale. We're just gonna bring both knees up towards the chest. Just bring one hand on each shin if you can. Maybe interlace the fingers and bring the hands around the shins underneath the knees. Adjust the lower back as needed and squeeze the knees in towards the chest. Give yourself an exhale. Fill the lungs on an inhale. Feeling that sensation from the belly all the way up to the top of into the middle of the eyebrows. And on an exhale, we're gonna start to bring that point in between the middle of the eyebrows up towards the knees. Just squeeze forward, rolling up into a little ball, completing your exhale. And then when you're ready on an inhale, we can just lower the back of the head right back down towards the mat. Full inhale there. Exhale, scroll up into that little ball again. Follow the breath. We'll do that a couple more times. Inhaling as the head comes back down towards the mat. Exhale as the forehead comes up towards the knees. Let's do that one more time together. Take the inhale. Exhale, bringing the forehead up towards the knees. On the inhale, go ahead and lower the body back down, and let's bring the feet down towards the mat as well. Let's set ourselves up for a bridge pose here. So we got both feet firmly planted on the mat. They're about hips distance apart, and a good way to judge that is if you just take a block and stick it in between your knees, and then you can squeeze on the block and you're kind of be in the right spot. Let the hands be flat on the mat, and then just walk the feet back until the backs of the heels just barely graze the tips of the middle fingers. Adjust the body however you need. Take your exhale, and on an inhale, let's just start to lift the tailbone and the pelvis up off the mat. And then one vertebrae at a time, we can come up towards our bridge pose. bringing the chin up towards the chest, the pelvis up towards the ceiling. And when you're ready, at the top of that inhale, just let the breath turn back around as the body lowers, bringing the back down towards the mat, and then letting the tailbone and the pelvis roll all the way down. Let's just keep moving there though. So after that exhale, let's just go ahead and start to move right back up to that bridge pose, pushing into the feet, squeezing the knees in towards midline, bringing the pelvis up, the chin towards the chest. Top of that inhale, exhale. Just let the body roll back down from the throat all the way to that tailbone. Full exhale there. We'll take another inhale here. We're going to push into the feet. We're going to come back up to that bridge pose, but we're going to hold this one for a moment. So if you'd like to, we can start to roll the shoulders underneath the body, maybe even interlacing the fingers and coming onto the shoulders, really pushing into those feet, lifting the pelvis, bringing the chin in towards the chest. Take a few breaths right here in this bridge pose. Keep pushing into the feet. Keep lifting the pelvis, keep lifting the chest, and keep watching the breath. You know, Bet, even my mom's been watching these practices, and she's all the way down in New Mexico. Hey, Mom. Hey, Nate. A few more breaths right here. All right, let's start to lower back down now, and if you do have the fingers interlaced underneath the body, stay in the bridge, but bring the shoulders out. And then grab opposite shoulders with each hand, kind of like you're giving yourself a hug. Reach the elbows up towards the ceiling, and on an exhale, lower the body down. Once that tailbone's on the ground, let's just go ahead and bring the hands out by the sides. Now, here's where I would like you to make sure that you adjust the body and make sure that you are aligned on that blanket like we had talked before. Now, if you have a shoulder stand in your practice and you're like, man, I don't need to use a blanket, that's fine. It's your practice. But I love to use these just to keep my back safe. So let's just take an exhale here. Bring the hands down towards the ground, and on an inhale, let's start to bring the knees up towards the chest. But let's keep going. Let's keep curling. Bring the legs over the body, kind of like you're in a reverse Hanumanasana, like you're coming towards a plow pose. But let the feet hover. Flex the toes. Reach for the wall behind you with the heels. Bring the hands to the lower back just for support, and make sure that the elbows and the backs of the upper arms are connected to the mat. Take a few breaths right here. And of course, if this isn't accessible for you, bend the knees. Now you can stay right here, right? You don't have to go any further than this, but if you'd like to, we can move into a supported shoulder stand here with the hands on the lower back. Take your exhale, and on an inhale, just start to straighten the legs up towards the ceiling. Keep the toes coming down towards the knees, and find the support on the backs of the arms and the shoulders, not on the head. Breathe right here, in and out through the nose. Let the awareness rest there on the navel and move into the chest, into the throat, into the nose, into that place right in between the eyebrows on the inhale. And on the exhale, just watch that reverse itself. Just breathe here, in and out. So we're going to take an inhale here, and then on an exhale, we can start to bring the legs up overhead, moving towards that plow pose. Now, if the toes don't even come close to the floor, that's totally fine. If you'd like to bend the knees and just let the knees rest on the forehead, that is also totally fine. But we'll just take a couple of breaths here, wherever you're at. And then in your time with an inhale, we can start to bring those legs back up overhead. And then slowly on the exhale, we can just start to lower down towards the mat. And you have options here, of course. You can bend the knees, bringing the knees in towards the forehead, and then just roll down. Or if you'd like to, you can keep the legs up and then just like slowly lower the body down. And then once the lower back is on the ground, bend the knees. Bring the feet down towards the ground, and then bring the feet out so they're about mat's distance wide, and then just let the knees fall into towards each other. And then just take a few breaths here, just relax. And then just give yourself an inhale, and on an exhale, roll over towards the right side. Make a little hand with the pillows. Make a little pillow with the hands, and just kind of rest there in that position for a couple of minutes. We've been on our backs for a while, so just give yourself a moment here. And then as you feel ready, let's just start to come up towards seated. Grab that blanket, and let's just move that blanket out of the way, wherever you want to put it. And then let's just have our blocks handy. Set those blocks up there towards the top of the mat, and let's come onto a tabletop position. Let's just start with the feet here about hips distance apart, the fingers spread nice and wide, the wrists and the hands underneath the shoulders, and the gaze right down in between the hands. So we're reaching forward with the crown of the head here. Let's just take a couple of cat-cows and start to just find your own movement, right? So on the inhale, lift the chest, lift the tailbone. And on the exhale, start to push into the hands as the back rounds and the tailbone tucks. Linking these movements with the breath, right? The exhales take you all the way to that cat back, and the inhales take you all the way to that cow belly. Simply linking the breath with the movements of the body. And how about we tuck the toes? Take an inhale. Come and find that cow belly, dropping the belly way down towards the mat, lifting the chest, bringing the gaze forward, really lifting that tailbone up, even holding that for a couple of breaths. Keep breathing. And then when you're ready on an exhale, we can push into the hands. With the toes tucked, push back into the heels. Really round the back up towards the ceiling and take a few breaths right here. The inhale, we can come back and find our neutral spine. On the exhale, we can hold. On the inhale, start to push into the hands, bringing the hips back towards your heels. And on the exhale, start to straighten the leg, just moving towards your downward facing dog. And then allow yourself a little bit of movement here. This may very well be your first downward facing dog of the day, and people really like to walk these things out. So let's just kind of move the legs around a little bit, move around in the hips, but link that movement with the breath. Then when you're ready, we can just start to find some stillness in our downward facing dog. Really reaching the bum up towards the ceiling, reaching the thighs for the wall behind you. Letting the shoulders come away from the ears. A little external rotation with the biceps, internal rotation with the forearms, push down on the thumb side of the hands. Reach the heels down for the mat. Relax the neck. And then with your breath, let's take an inhale. Let's lift the right leg. Watching out for plants and things behind you. Pointing the toes behind you. And on the exhale, let's just bring the knee forward, up by the chin. Place the foot in between the hands. Hi, pig. Drop the left knee and untuck the toes. Reach out for those blocks or for whatever you're using for support here. Lift the chest. Let the shoulders sink away from the ears. And just find like a low lunge here. The toes on the back are untucked. That back leg is nice and long. And we're really starting to sink that right hip down towards that right heel, but we don't want the right knee to be forward of that right ankle. And there's so many things to remember when you practice yoga. Jeez. Letting the chest lift. Playing with a little bit of movement here. Let's just take the inhale, and on the exhale, we'll start to straighten the right leg, bringing the left hip towards the left heel. You've all done this with me before. Let the chest come down towards the thigh. Let that exhale be full and complete. With the inhale, let's just start to bend that knee, lift the chest, bring the gaze even slightly up. Even if the eyes are closed, let the shoulders drop away from the ears. And then at the top of that inhale, take the exhale, start to straighten the right leg again, bringing the chest down towards the thigh. Full exhale right here. Now we're going to take that inhale, move back towards our low lunge, mini Hanumanasana, lifting the chest. And when we go into our exhale, we are going to come onto the back of the right heel, bringing the left hip way back towards the heel, flexing the toes on the right up towards the knee. Before you settle in, move the blocks around. Take your inhale, lift the chest, bring the gaze up. Exhale, fold forward. Your breath, your inhale again. Come up, bring the chest forward, bring the gaze forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift, bring that gaze forward. And here on the exhale, we're going to hold here for a few breaths. So come down into that exhale, move the blocks around however you need to feel supported, and just allow a few breaths here. Ardha Hanumanasana, half Hanuman. And remember, even though we're not moving with the body, there's still movement happening with the breath. As long as we are aware of that movement with the breath, it is still vinyasa. I think the Ashtanga police are coming though. Take an inhale, we'll give ourselves another exhale, and when you're ready on an inhale, nice and slowly, let's kind of move back. We're going to plant that right foot, take the inhale, reach the arms up overhead, finding that lunge, and then on the exhale, we're going to bring the hands down. We're going to place the left hand right on the inside of that right foot, tuck the toes on the left, lift the knee off the mat, take your exhale. Movement, inhale, bring the arm forward and up overhead, twisting open towards the right. Exhale, hand comes down towards the mat. Inhale, arm forward, up overhead, sweeping. Exhale, just bring that hand down towards the mat. Inhale, reach forward, up. Exhale, hold. Inhaling. And exhaling, bringing the hand down. Find your blocks. Bring the blocks so they're up by your foot. Take your exhale, bring the hands onto the blocks, and with the inhale, start to straighten that right leg as we come into a nice wide pyramid pose here. Now we don't have to lock out any of our knees. And you could also use just like a chair, right? If you have no blocks in front of you and you have like a chair, you can put your hands out here on the chair and use that to hold you up as well. We're not really putting a lot of weight on these things, right? They're really just for balance and stability. We're using the bottoms of our body, our legs, to really hold us here. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Moving with the breath, inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Halfway up on that inhale. Exhale, fold. And we'll take a couple breaths right here. As you're ready, we could take the inhale. We'll just start to bend the right knee. And then on the exhale, drop the left knee down towards the ground, untuck the toes. Inhale when you're ready, bring the arms up. Exhale, we can just bring those right down towards the mat, tuck the toes on the left, lift the left knee off the mat, take your inhale. Exhale, find your downward facing dog. Settle into that dog, take a breath. Your breath when you're ready, your inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, knee comes forward. Place the foot in between the hands. Drop the right knee. Untuck those toes. Full exhale there. Maybe find those blocks and just explore this lunge. Adjust the body however you need. Really start to bring that left hip towards that left heel. But keep that left knee just behind the ankle. When you're ready, we'll take that inhale, bring the arms up. The exhale, the shoulders can drip away from the ears. Inhale, lift the chest, bring the gaze up. On that exhale, bring the hands down onto those blocks because I forgot Hanumanasana. Hands on the blocks. We'll take the inhale, start to bring that right hip back towards the left heel, bringing the chest down towards the thigh, chin in towards the chest. You guys thought you were getting away from that one, huh? Inhale, bringing the knee forward. Exhale, bringing the hip back towards the heel again. Inhale, we'll come forward. Lift that chest, and this time on the exhale, we're going to come onto the back of the left heel as we bring the right hip towards the right heel. Adjusting the blocks or moving the hands around to find that place where you feel comfortable. We'll take that little bit of movement here. We're going to take an inhale, lifting the chest slightly, and on the exhale, start to bring the chest down towards the chin. Or chin towards the chest. Gosh. Inhale when you're ready, follow the breath, come back up. Exhale, fold. Inhaling up. Exhale, fold. Keep the toes flexed on the left. Bring the chin in towards the chest, the forehead towards the knee, and just take a couple of breaths right here. Awareness of the breath from the belly to the center of the forehead. Take that inhale as you bend the left knee, bringing the sole of the left foot back down towards the ground. Exhale, letting the hips sink towards the heels. Now take that inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Yeah, it's just like you guys are all here. I'm making mistakes. Exhale, bring the hands down, bring the right hand on the inside of that left foot. Tuck the toes on the right, lift the right knee right up off of the mat. Adjust that back foot as you need. Take your exhale. Inhale when you're ready, reach the arm forward, up. The exhale, the arm just sweeps down towards the mat. Inhale, forward, up. Twisting open to the left, exhale, hand down towards the mat. Inhale, reach forward, up. Exhale, we'll hold this one, taking a few breaths. One more nice big inhale here. The exhale, we're floating that left hand down towards the mat. Find your blocks as you do. Bring the blocks up around that left foot. In your time, when you're ready on the inhale, start to straighten the left leg as you start to bring the right heel towards the mat. Now, it shouldn't touch, right? We should be on the tiptoes of that back foot. Adjust the blocks as you need. When you're ready, inhale halfway up. Crown of the head comes forward. Exhale, fold forward. Inhaling. Exhaling. We'll come up again. Forward with the crown of the head, and this time on the exhale, we're going to hold this down here for 2-3 breaths, right? So just keep breathing, following the breath, moving through the body, feeling the motion of the breath in the body. Awareness of the breath moving in the body. And when you're ready, we'll take the inhale, and as we do, we can start to bend that left knee, and then drop the right knee onto the ground, untuck the toes. Set those blocks out to the sides, take the inhale, bring the arms up overhead. The exhale, those hands are going to come down towards the mat. Tuck the toes on the right, lift the right knee off the mat, take your inhale, exhale, downward facing dog. On an inhale, bend the knees, bring the gaze up towards the top of the mat, step forward. On the exhale, with a nice deep bend in the knees, fold forward. We'll take an inhale, we'll come halfway up. We'll find Ardha Uttanasana here, just reaching forward with the crown of the head, pushing down through the feet. Take our inhale when you're ready, and on the exhale, we can just fold forward. And then let's do that with the breath. Inhale, halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana, half forward fold. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Keep that engagement, keep some engagement in the lower belly as you do this. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Give a little bit of a bend in those knees. Let the arms hang. And when you're ready with an inhale, as you push into the feet, just come up like you're a rag doll. Just let those hands hang. And do this slow. We've been on our backs for a while. We haven't stood up all the way yet. So take your time. As you get there, roll the shoulders up up by the ears, and let the shoulders roll down into the back body. What I'd like you to do is just pigeon toe the feet out just a little bit. And then with an exhale here, we can just start to bend the knees, bring the hands onto the tops of the thighs. The fingers on the inside of the thighs, the thumbs wrapped around to the back. As you push down through all 4 corners of the feet, lift the chest, pull the tailbone down. Almost like you're in a cow belly here, but standing. Take the inhale, lift the chest. Roll the tailbone slightly up, bring the gaze forward. When you're ready to exhale, push into the hands as you round the back, coming in like a standing cat back. Let that exhale there be full and complete, and then with your breath, just follow that. Inhale. Lift the chest. Lift the tailbone. Bring the gaze up even if the eyes are closed. On the exhale, push into the feet, round the back. Maybe on the exhale, at the bottom of the exhale, we explore a little bit of breath retention, just holding the breath out. When you're ready to inhale, move through and find that standing cow. Exhale, standing cat. Couple more with your breath. Let's take our next exhale, fully exhaling the breath out, holding the breath out for just a count or two if you're doing that. And then slowly on the inhale, just start to come back up towards standing. Bring the hands on the belly. Bring the pointer finger and the thumbs together like an upside down triangle, and just experience that sensation from the belly all the way up to the center of the eyebrows. And take an inhale and exhale. Just kind of shake the legs out, shake the arms out. Check that out. All right, so let's do a little bit of balancing here, right? And I don't know about you all, I don't know about you, Ben, but my balance, well, you've been practicing like 3 times a day for like the last, let's face it, forever. So you're probably solid. You want to come up here and teach some balancing? I didn't think you so. So, you know, respect yourself, right? If you're at home and you know your balance is a little bit off, I'll bet you got some walls that are close to you. I bet there's a table or something that you could just reach out and put a finger on just to kind of hold you upright, right? But let's just start, right? Like feet about hips distance apart. And push down through those feet. Find some nice, strong stableness in the legs. Really feeling those soles of the feet connected to the ground, maybe even lifting the toes up and then setting them back down just so you can kind of grip onto your mat or the carpet or whatever you're using. Shoulders up by the ears and down into the back body. Let the arms get nice and long. Bring the gaze right out in front of you and try to look at something that's not going to move. So that's not me on your screen. Look just past your computer and look at something that you can focus your gaze on. And then we'll start just by taking the heel of the right foot and kick it up against the ankle of the left, just like a little kickstand there, tree pose. Keeping that gaze right out in front of you. Maybe we want to bring the sole of that foot up on into the calf, or maybe all the way up on into the inner thigh. Let the arms get long. And if you did bring that foot all the way up to the inner thigh, ooh, I'm wobbly, try to point the arch of the foot down. That way you can kind of grab like the muscles of the thigh. Pull the right knee back towards the wall behind you, wherever it is. It doesn't matter if your foot's on the floor or not. Woo! I think the earth just shifted. I'm certainly not this wobbly. And then we're just going to take a couple of breaths here, right? So if you fall out of it, don't worry about it. Just get back onto it. If you need to reach out and grab a wall or a bookcase or a TV or a partner of yours, just reach out and grab. And then just take some breath in and out through the nose. Let the arms move around however you need. Remember, you're a tree, right? So like branches aren't straight. So move the arms around to where it will assist you with your balance. Make faces at the camera. Just take an inhale here. Give yourself a full exhale. And then a couple more. In and out through the nose with that awareness from the belly to the forehead. Okay. Let's throw a little bit of movement into this balance. So let's take an inhale, bring the knees straight out from the hip, flex the toes. So we've got this like nice angle of the leg. We're going to take an inhale here. On the exhale, we're going to kick the leg back as we come forward towards Warrior 3. Inhale when you're ready. Come back up. Exhale, Warrior 3. Your breath, your movement. Inhale. Come back. Exhale. Let's find that Warrior 3 this time, bringing the leg behind us, and we'll hold this for a few breaths, so find a good spot for your hands, wherever they are. Whew, I can't believe I held that. Lucky is what that is. Just take a couple of breaths here. And then when you're ready, we can take that inhale. Start to come back up. Bring the knee up. The exhale, just set that foot back down. Let the arms come out by the sides. Shake the legs out just a little bit. Whew. I told you. Chill, not easy. So, right? I always start on the good side. All right, so now we're just going to go ahead and we're going to find that stable footing with our feet again. Pick the toes up, set the toes back down. Find that strength that carries you in those legs all day. And with wherever you want your hands to be, just bring the left heel up against the right ankle. And take a few breaths here in this tree pose. Be aware of the differences between the right and the left side, especially during balancing. And if this is not the good side, if you want to reach out and find that chair or that table or that partner to hold on to help you balance, go for it. Maybe we want to bring that foot all the way up on into the inside of the right calf, or all the way up onto the inside of the thigh. Remember, keep looking at that space that's just past your computer. Mostly because when I fall, I don't want you to see. And we'll just take some breath here. Move the arms around as you need. Find your balance. Take an inhale. Give yourself that full exhale, and then we'll get that movement in here. So we'll take the inhale, bring the knee that's straight out from the hip, or as straight as possible. Take your inhale, exhale, start to bring that leg behind you. Warrior 3. Inhale with your breath, back up. Exhale, bring that leg back behind you. Inhale back to standing. And here on the exhale is where we're going to hold. Woo, wobbly time.
Got it.
Woo. So on your exhale, when you're ready, kick that leg behind you and let's find that warrior 3. And adjust the leg, not the legs, keep the legs below you. Adjust the arms as necessary so you feel nice and stable and balanced. Couple more breaths. Just pretend like I'm doing it too. Two more. When you're ready with the inhale, you can start to bring that knee back forward, coming back out towards standing. And then on the exhale, set that foot back down on the mat. It's full exhale right there. Walk those legs out. Let's find those blocks. We'll just bring those blocks right up towards the top of the mat. And then just find a nice Tadasana, just feet right underneath the hips, rolling the shoulders up by the ears, let the shoulders come down, let the arms get nice and long, pull the tailbone down. Take an inhale, bring the hands onto the hips. Take the exhale, step that right foot back, warrior 1. Now ideally, we want the hips to be lined up with the front of the mat, so if we bring the hands onto the hips, we can kind of help that happen a little bit. Don't worry about it being perfect. Take the exhale right here. When you're ready, we're going to take an inhale, and we're just going to bring the arms straight out from the shoulders like we're a cactus here, right? Pull the shoulders back, bring the gaze up, take a couple of breaths. Let's get that movement in. We'll take the inhale, straighten the leg, bring the arms so they're straight up overhead. Exhale, we can come back towards that warrior 1 with our cactus arms. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, warrior 1. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, with the legs straight, start to fold forward. Bringing the arms down, and this is where we can find those blocks, bringing the hands onto our blocks. Pyramid pose, adjust that back foot so you feel balanced and stable. With the hands directly on the ground or on the blocks, we're still going to get some movement here. Take the inhale, come up part way. Reach forward with the crown of the head. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale up. Exhale, fold from the belly all the way to that place in between the eyebrows. Follow that inhale. Exhale, fold, and we'll hold this one here for 2 or 3 breaths. Give yourself the exhale. On the inhale, let's come up part way, reaching forward with the crown of the head. Exhale, just go ahead and bend that left knee. Inhale. Reach the arms up overhead for warrior 1. Exhale, let the shoulders drip away from the ears. We're going to take the inhale, and then on the exhale, we're going to open up to warrior 2. So walk that right foot so it's back a little bit further, parallel across the mat. Line the heel of the front foot and the arch of the back foot more or less in line with each other. We want that front knee to be just behind or right above the ankle. Reach the left hand forward, the right hand back, and take a breath here. And then moving with your breath, inhale, exhale, side angle pose. So that left forearm on the left thigh, right bicep by the right ear, arm nice and long. Inhale, we'll come through warrior two, exhale to that reverse warrior. And you can bind the arm, that's just what I tend to do by default, or you can just let the arm hang out on the thigh. Inhaling here, and then let's just flow through that. Exhale through warrior two into that side angle pose. Let the arms be long. Let that exhale complete. Inhaling, coming back up, exhaling, reverse warrior. Full exhale right there. Inhale through warrior two, exhale to your side angle pose. Hold that one. Bring the gaze underneath the armpit. Inhale. Come up to that warrior two. Exhale, sink into that warrior two. Inhale, step forward. Back to your mountain pose. So we're just going to do that on the other side now, so set yourself up. Find that Tadasana pose, bring the hands onto the hips, take the inhale. The exhale, step the left foot back this time. Find that warrior one pose, it's going to work for you here. Take the inhale, the arms come out, they come up overhead. The exhale, bend the elbows. Let the fingers be spread nice and wide, cactus arms. Pulling the elbows back, the shoulder blades towards each other. Take the inhale, lift the chest. Bring the gaze slightly up. Moving with your breath when you're ready. Inhale, arms straighten, leg straightens. Exhale, back to that warrior one. Inhaling your breath, straight leg, arms come up. Exhale, warrior one. Inhale, here we go. Reach the fingers up, pull the right hip back. Exhale, fold forward. Hey, pig. Bring the hands down towards the mat. Find the blocks. Adjust the feet as necessary. Inhale, we'll come halfway up. Moving with your breath, the exhale, fold. Halfway up again on that inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale again, halfway up. Really reach forward with the crown of the head here. Pull that right hip back, and on the exhale, lead down with the chest. Then let the chin come in towards the chest and the forehead towards the knee. Take just a couple of breaths right here. Then inhale, come part way up. Exhale, when you're ready, we can start to bend that right knee, moving back towards the warrior one. We'll take the inhale when you're ready. Sweep the arms out to the sides. Nice and long arms all the way up. Exhale, warrior two. Step that back foot back as you need. Find that warrior two pose. We'll take an inhale here, and the exhale, just let the shoulders drop away from the ears. And then just like we did on the other side, we're going to move here. So take the inhale. Exhale, we'll find that side angle pose. Full exhale, letting those fingers come nice and long towards the front of the room. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reverse that warrior. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, side angle pose. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reverse that warrior. And let's hold this one for a few breaths. I meant to hold both on the other side. Obviously, I forgot. Just breathe. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, hold that warrior two. Inhale, step forward, mountain pose. Exhale, let the hands drop. Inhale, sweep the arms out to the sides, let them come up overhead, lift the chest, find that little back bend at the very, very top, and with your exhale, fold forward, coming all the way down to your Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, plant the hands, step the feet back there towards the back of the mat, plank pose. Here it is, the only one. Exhale, chaturanga. Full exhale right there. Let the whole body come down towards the mat. And on the inhale, lift the chest. Find a Cobra Pose. Oh, you're up there. Hi, camera. Find your Cobra Pose. And then let's hang out here in this little back bend for a couple of minutes, but let's make this easier on ourselves. Let's bring the elbows underneath the shoulders, forearms to the ground, fingers spread nice and wide. Pull the chest forward. Sphinx pose. You might even be able to feel that sensation of the navel rising on the inhale, pushing down into the ground. And let that sensation continue to rise up through the chest, the throat, the nose, into the middle of the eyebrows. And with the exhale, just watch that drop back down as the belly relaxes. Give yourself another inhale here and a full exhale. The next inhale, really pull that chest forward, pull the shoulders away from the ears, and on the exhale, just allow yourself to come all the way down towards the mat. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale, push into the hands, come up onto the knees. On the exhale, bring the hips back towards the heels. Let's just find a child's pose. Hold, please. Take a full exhale right here. When you're ready with an inhale, we can come up, we can find our tabletop pose. On the exhale, just set the hips down to the right or the left side. Spin those legs right out in front of you. Let's flex the toes back towards the knee. Let's take an inhale, reach the arms up overhead. The exhale, just fold forward. Find those feet, find the ankles, find the calves, find wherever the hands fall comfortably. Take an inhale. The exhale, let the body relax. Take your inhale here. The exhale, let go. And the hands down towards the mat. Take an inhale, just drag the fingers along the mat as you come up towards seated. Let's bend both knees, bring the soles of the feet in towards each other for Baddha Konasana. Let's move back to interlacing those fingers just like we did towards the beginning of the class, but this time we're bringing those fingers right over the tops of the feet like a little hat, right? And take an inhale, lift the chest. On the exhale, let the shoulders just drip away from the ears. Let the gaze be right out in front of you. Just with the muscles of the legs, pull the knees down towards the mat. You don't have to get anywhere near touching, just have that engagement in that direction. And for this next couple of breaths here, just watch the belly expand, the chest expand. Feel the breath in the throat, in the nostrils. Feel that sensation right in between the eyebrows. And the exhale. The nose, the throat, the chest, and the belly. A couple breaths on your own. we might not be moving in like a flow here. But if we're aware of the breath, linking with the movements of the body, even if it's just the movement of the chest rising, we're practicing vinyasa. Just take an inhale here. And an exhale, just let go of the hands. I guess you have to let go of the feet. You can't really let go of your own hand, right? Take an inhale, we can bring these knees together. Place those feet flat on the mat. Bring the hands onto the shins. Take the inhale, lift the chest. Bring the gaze up. The exhale, round the back. Bring the chin in towards the chest. Follow your breath. 2, 3 more times. Really reaching the back towards the back of the room on the exhale, really reaching the chest forward on the inhale. Inhaling. And the exhale, you can just let the hands come down towards the mat, stretch the legs out in front of you. Take an inhale, and on the exhale, let's just come onto the elbows and the forearms behind us. Lifting the chest. Bringing the chin in towards the chest. Just a couple more breaths right here. And as you're ready on an exhale, just move those arms out from behind you. Lower the whole body down onto the mat. The hands come out by the sides. The feet just flop open. Let the eyes close. And just return to that spot right in between the eyebrows. Just focusing that sensation there, that awareness there, where the breath comes together. To the nose, feeling the breath move in and out of the nostrils, wisping right past the tip of the nose on the inhale and the exhale. Back to the throat, feeling the sensation of the breath moving in and out of the throat. Bring it back to the chest. Bring the hand onto the chest and just feel chest rising and expanding on the inhale, emptying and constricting on the exhale. And back to the navel. Bring that hand and place it right over the belly button. And just bring the hand down to the mat. Take rest. Remember that you can stay. where you are, as long as you want. You're at home. Be at home. But when you do find yourself ready, no matter how long that takes, start with just some little movements in the fingers and the toes. As those movements gradually get a little bit more exaggerated, maybe some movement can come into the wrists and the ankles, rolling them from one side to the other. Movement can come into the knees and the elbows, up into the shoulders and the hips. Just even in the neck, rolling the neck from side to side. And bring the neck back to neutral. And when you're ready, take a nice long full inhale, reaching all the way to the wall behind you with the fingers, the wall in front of you with the heels or the toes. Just giving yourself a nice long full body stretch. Engaging the muscles on that inhale. And then on the exhale again, just completely relaxing, just letting it go completely, just letting the whole body just become supported by your mat and your practice. On an inhale, the knees will bend and they'll start to come in towards the chest. And on the exhale, roll over towards the right side. Take a few breaths there. Giving yourself all the time in the world that you need to move from here to the next place. And then to the next, and on to the next. When you are ready, take an inhale, come up and find a comfortable seated position. Sitting up on a block or a blanket. Roll those shoulders up by the ears and let them sink back into the back body. Bring the crown of the head over the tailbone. Just bring those hands together at heart center and just slightly tuck the chin down towards the hands. And just take this last couple of moments, these last couple of breaths here, to allow yourself gratitude for the time that you've taken today. Everything that's going on in the world today, you took the time to step into your practice. And you did that with your breath, with your community. As long as we broaden our sense of here, our community is massive. It was an absolute pleasure to spend this time with you today. Thank you all so much for coming. Hari Om Tat Sat. All right, everybody, thanks so much again for coming out. Remember, support us on Patreon, patreon.com/commonbond. This will be streaming on the YouTube channel, commonbondyoga on YouTube. Live stream 25 for 25% off any 10 passes or greater. Well, for once the studio opens, of course. And remember, get out there, support some local business, get some takeout. And yeah, have a beautiful day. It was an absolute pleasure to spend this time with you. We'll be back next Saturday. I think we'll be here since Public House is closed. There's probably no beer yoga. So everybody make sure you have a beer for right after class next week. And we'll see you then. Thanks again for coming. We love you all.